Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Boink Studios, and check us out on boinkstudios.com, where you can see all of our projects, past, present, and future. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy Show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. We're back once again here on Facebook Live. Glad you are with us. We're also recording today. The show will post on YouTube and is always available on boinkstudios.com. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is episode number 156, and yes, we're moving right along here on Facebook Live. I want to thank everyone for joining us here, of course, and for coming back each and every week. Much thanks to Heidi Ryan and the whole crew at Wrestling Rumors for giving us this platform. We do greatly appreciate it. So episode number 155 was AEW Dynamite, Hell in a Cell, and NWA Power. We talked about all three big events that went down the same week, as well as a bunch of news and rumors from all three companies. But now, we're on to other stuff. Big events, bigger events, big news and bigger news, and big time stuff, loads of it going down everywhere. That's right, folks. This time the main event is WWE Draft, Crown Jewel, and AEW Full Gear. Man, it's a plate full of pro wrestling goodness, served all straight up into your ear canal, and for those of you watching from the comfort of your own technological device, man, that came out funky. It's all up visually, all up in your cranium as well. So there you go. There's your intro. Man, was that a good intro. I'm pumped. I'm stoked. I can't wait for this. I've been looking forward to this all week. Let's talk about that terrible draft. Tell me, by the way, hello everyone out there. I hope everyone's doing well. Talk to me about the terrible draft. I want to hear what you think. Hit me with it. What's the best thing? If there was a best thing? What's the dumbest thing? Because there's a lot of dumb things. And tell me everything you've been feeling about it and thinking about it. And go. Hit me. Chris is not holding back. Christopher says that the draft sucked a certain body part. I will not repeat. We are PG here, Christopher. But I feel you. Draft was embarrassing, says William. William, a lot of people agree with you. Angie says the worst was the war rooms. Oh my God, Angie, from your lips to the ears of God. Terrible. It's Christopher. I'm messing with you, bro. It's all good. Yeah, it was pretty terrible. Tom Clark and the Funky Bunch. Oh, I could get used to that. I kind of like that. Some superstars are on the brand. Yeah, because they're made like, oh my God, Roman Reigns is on SmackDown. Right? Michael Cole's like, oh my God, he's on SmackDown. And they're all excited. And I'm like, wasn't he already on SmackDown? Did you think that we just forgot? I'm looking around at like no one here. And I'm like, the dog's back there. Do you think we just forgot that what? It's WWE, man. It's how they roll. Lopez says executives in Fox don't know anything about WWE. Listen. Miss Lopez, this whole commentary about the Fox executives let me tell you something. Boy, they're pumped about the draft. And the USA executives, oh my God, they just couldn't wait to get this guy. It's all work. You know that, right? It's all work. Now, they've got both sides playing along. Whoever's running their social media accounts is playing along. It's all good. It's pro wrestling. Everything's a work, right? It's beyond ridiculous. It's just downright silly. But, you know, you got the big CG robots from the NFL thing. Oh my God, it has a name, doesn't it? What's the name of the thing? What's up, Sandy? Yeah, no surprise at Bray. Yeah, for sure. What's up, Danny? What's going on? Ashley Tate, welcome to the show. Glad you are hanging out once again. Welcome back. I think Bray should go on both brands. Bray just goes wherever he done wants to. All the time. Best pick was the Street Profits. Let me tell you something about Montez and Angelo. They're already there. And they're always backstage cutting the promo. Angela's I was going, hey, you know, and he does it for like 10 minutes straight. And you're like, these guys are so fun. Please stop doing that. I want to kill someone, right? At least they're going to get in the ring now. I mean, I think, right? Please, God, get these guys in the ring because they can go. We know that, right? So, yeah, I'm all about it. What's up, folks? Everyone's still pouring in. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hello. Was it Bodan? Bodden? I don't want to mispronounce your name, man. From the UK. I'm big across the pond, yo. If you didn't know that, it's me and the Beatles. I'm as big in the UK as the Beatles are to America. I couldn't say that with a straight face. It's good stuff, right? Street Profits want to bring the smoke. The smoke! They're all about the smoke. I don't quite know what to make of that because I'm an unhip and untrendy white dude in the south of the United States. I'm not exactly what you may call, you know, the MTV generation. Actually, I probably am. But I am not. I'm Generation X. Bam. Okay. But at the same time, I'm not exactly what you might call on the cusp, on the cutting edge of what's hip and trendy in the world today. That's not really who I am. Okay. So, yeah. What's up, Randall? Welcome back. Yeah. Alma says, hate the draft all the way around. I agree with you 100%. So the ones not listed free agents, Rebecca, great point. They did this thing about how so-and-so wants to get drafted. They want to win this match because they want to get drafted. I'm like, okay, I don't know what part of any of this. See, here's the deal. When WWE let the cat out of the bag years ago with the fact that pro wrestling is not pro wrestling is choreographed and it's predetermined. It's not a sport. It's not a competition. It's a script and all the other hoo-ha that they told the world. Remember, they peeled back the curtain and they said, well, pal, it's not what you think. We're just playing. Okay. So when they do that and then they want you to buy in. And so then they try really hard to get you to buy in and you're like, I'm not buying this. See what I'm saying? It's such an odd business. It's such an odd thing to be a part of, isn't it? Such an odd thing to watch. Ms. Lopez, yes, we're going to get there, but since you brought it up, Seth was pulled out of the he's no longer the team captain for Team Hogan. Team Hogan, folks. What you going to do when Seth Rollins gets pulled out on you? I don't know what that meant, but no, he's gone, he's out, because he's now facing The Fiend. The Fiend. He's fiendish, folks. He takes a licking and he keeps right on ticking. The Bray Wyatt, who is utterly and absolutely 1,000% invincible. I didn't say invisible. Invincible. Okay? You can't touch him. You can't pin him. You can't hurt him. You can't even mess up the dude's hair. He is absolutely unbeatable. And he's going to face Seth again. Clay says, Team Flair, yo. Jenna says, boo Hogan. Yeah, I kind of been like that my whole life. Team Flair and boo Hogan. Since I was but a wee lad, I've kind of always been Team Flair. Clay says he likes the Fiend, like the Angle. Well, Clay, you and a few select others are all about this. So, yeah, anyways. Somebody just hit me with a comment with a whole bunch of dollar signs in it. Hit me with that again. I missed it. The Funhouse Fiends commentary during that was funny. Yeah. Yeah, but then Seth came in and burned it down, didn't he? Yeah, I wrote a column this week, opining on the fact that I believe that Seth Rollins has replaced Roman Reigns as the most hated babyface in all of WWE. He not only replaced Roman as a top guy, he's replaced Roman as the most hated babyface. And supposedly, they absolutely have no plans to turn Seth, like they didn't have any plans to turn Roman, like they had no plans to turn John. It's just they don't care. They don't care if it's not working because they're WWE and they don't care to have a care. Does that make sense? That's who they are. Claire is back in Manchester, UK. It's rainy and cold. Loving the show as usual. Thank you, my dear. Claire's driving home. Claire drives safe. Resist the temptation to look at all the hairy goodness, which sounded creepier than I meant it to sound. So, my apologies. Michelle says, I love The Fiend. I don't dislike The Fiend at all. But Tim brings up a good point. I don't see Bray as champion yet. Team Tim. I totally agree with you on that, my friend. Totally agree with you on that. Thank you, Jamel. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that. Seth is Cena 2.0, the monster killer. He is the beast slayer, Toby. He be slaying beasts and killing monsters, yo. He's the Van Helsing of WWE. I said it. So there you go. Do you think Ryback will make a comeback? That's a throwback right there. Watch out for the touchback. Anything that ends in back. What a flashback. How's that? I don't know, man. I never say never. Who knows? Not the first time Seth Rollins just asked. Aha, Steven, trying to be cute up in here. I get you. Steven, PG, my friend. Keep it PG. So, yeah, I think judging from the comments thus far, I would say the majority of folks out there watching especially, and maybe even listening perhaps as well, pretty much agree that the whole WWE draft thing was nothing but, let's just say it did not bring the smoke. The Street Profits were not happy with that because it did not bring the smoke. So, yeah. William says, I think the NWA Power is outdoing WWE at the moment. NWA Power's got its little eccentricities, if we may say. It's got its quirks. I'm not going to lie. I still enjoy it. I'm still having fun watching it. Don't misunderstand me. It's got its quirks. They brought Aaron Stevens in, the former Damian Sandow. And he's like, don't make eye contact with me. That was a little weird. I don't care. I'm not going to overanalyze it. I like the guy. I like his work. I always have. So, it was a good show. Why did they kill women's division on SmackDown? Toby, why did they do anything they do, my friend? From this draft to all these other things, Seth out as team captain. Another bit of news, Eric Bischoff fired from SmackDown. I don't know if any of us could say from day one, because people are claiming they said it from day one. If any of us knew 100% from day one this was going to happen, some people guessed it could, but you could guess that of anyone they ever hire. Because it's WWE and they're so unpredictable. You could guess that from anybody on the roster and have a 50-50 shot at being right. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if I could have said that Bischoff's going to eventually be fired, but I can tell you that I don't know if I saw it coming in this fashion. Supposedly he didn't contribute very much. He moved from wherever it was in the Midwest all the way across the country to Connecticut, of all places. No disrespect to anyone in Connecticut. I'm just saying. But pulled up stakes, his family and everything, and moved halfway across the country for what? To get fired? That sucks, So, yeah, crazy. Alan says, what's up with the Lana story? Hot garbage. Hot garbage, Alan, like the WWE draft. It's hot garbage. Today, the theme of today's show, today, the sponsor, today's sponsor, Tom Clark's main event is hot garbage. Brought to you by WWE. Hot garbage, baby. Is there any part of anyone on this planet that sees this thing between Lashley and Lana and says, right there, pal, some good TV? Well, there's one guy. And his yes men who go, yes, sir, balls. All of them. It's the truth, and you bloody well know it, as my friends in the UK will attest to. I'm picking up your lingo. You bloody well know it. All of you know it. So, Jim, what's up, bro? Bischoff knew what was up. He was just a scapegoat for Vince, and he just gave up and stopped giving a crap. So you're telling me that maybe Bischoff was the like you said, scapegoat, the Lee Harvey of the entire situation. You may very well be right, my friend. Will says the draft was great. Wilf, oh my God, are you feeling okay? Do you need some Advil? Do they have Advil where you are? I'm playing, man. It's all good. Barry says Bruce Pritchard is better than Bischoff. Debatable, but you know what? We'll see in the end. The Lana thing is a weak attempt to show us the Attitude Era. Toby is a weak attempt to show us Lana naked. And I don't care about Lana naked. I care about the show. I want the wrestling. That's people who are tuning into AEW who are not getting Lana naked are like, I enjoyed a naked Lana, but man, did you see that match last night? There's a big difference, man. Big difference. It's not to say that AEW is the king of the world or anything like that. Don't take it out of context. I'm just saying there's a reason why that brand is getting, and that company is getting such attention right now. That's what it is. Charles says bollocks to that. Charles, to what? Anyway, I can't let them people be so bad at their jobs. Some regular guy could do a better job. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, Mel says, is there anyone that you didn't get drafted you feel should have? And is there any that you got drafted that you feel shouldn't have? Can I be honest with you? Can I be honest with you right now? Because I want to answer your question. But here's how I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer it like a jerk. I don't care about the draft. I had nothing invested in this. The first couple of times they did a draft, I was on board. I was like, This is different. This could work. This could be special. This could be entertaining and fun. They've ruined it. Like everything else that company does. They find a way to screw it up. It's amazing how a company, I'm looking up here as if the answer lies in the heavens. God doesn't have anything to do with this, people. He's washed his hands of it a long time ago. Besides, God's an AEW fan. Come at me. For a company to be as rich as they are, to have as many people behind the scenes who have been in the business for years, to have a guy at the helm that's been so brilliant in his entire career, to have a company that's broke as much ground and crossed as many barriers and infiltrated mainstream media and pop culture in the entire freaking world, to do so many things wrong and just be so dumb. It is unbelievable. It's like the world's smartest guy is kind of an idiot. Do you know what I mean? If you had to write a book about the company, you'd say the world's smartest guy is kind of an idiot. Charlie, you missed Tom ranting about a whole bunch of stuff. Mark says AEW's learned from WWE mistakes. AEW's making their own mistakes, Mark, and I appreciate your comment. But yeah, I think they're making mistakes as well, such as they are. Alan says, I think the draft is missing GMs. Alan, bite your tongue clean out of your head. This is one bearded pro wrestling analyst that wants nothing, did you hear me? Nothing to do with authority figures on my TV anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I don't want it. I don't want a GM. I don't want a commissioner. I don't want an executive assistant. I don't want an assistant to the GM. I don't want a commissioner to the GM. I don't want an assistant commissioner to the GM. And I don't want an assistant to the executive commissioner to the outstanding GM. I don't want any of that hot garbage because, again, hot garbage. I should have just called this episode Hot Garbage. Guess what I'm going to do? From now on, it's going to be a segment, or it's going to be a show, or I'm just going to call it a new podcast, Tom Clark's Hot Garbage. Oh my God! How fun would that be? Look at me. You think I'm playing? I'm dead serious. Tom Clark's, there it is, Hot Garbage. Fun stuff. It's fun. Okay, don't need NBA. Dropped in back players already. Yeah. The GM has no power, so why have one? Right. And it's just a figurehead. It's just a less power than the Queen of England. Right? It's just a scripted role for sure. Like having the Young Bucks lose in the first round. Big mistake. Barry, I would agree with you to a certain extent. But here's the thing. If the guys that founded that company are winning all the time, what's everyone going to say? If Cody didn't take a beating, if the Bucks win all the time, what's everyone going to say? If Omega hadn't lost yet, what's everyone going to say? Well, this is all about stroking their own ego. They're in a catch-22, man. They're in a catch-22. Jen says the only thing wrong with AEW is that they take shots at WWE when they don't need to. But, you know, I agree with you to a certain extent, Jenna. I do believe that they should focus on their company, but I believe they are focusing on their company. I think it's just too tempting to not take shots. I'm not saying I defend it. I just say I understand why they're doing it. I get a little tired of it too. It is what it is. AEW is awesome, but the women's matches have been kind of bad. Yeah, well, they put the title on Riho, and Riho is like the Marco Stunt of the women's division. God bless her little heart. I don't know how you put the belt on her. You know, like WWE, I am not going to lose any sleep over anything AEW does. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not. Life's too short, man. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'll watch it. I'll digest it. I'll analyze it, and I'll give it to you as best I can in the form of columns and podcasts and tweets and Facebook posts and everything in between, Instagram, what have you. But I'm just not going to lose any sleep over it. It is what it is. I think it's silly, but it's whatever. All we can do is watch it to see how it's all going to unfold. Yes. Toby says Priest and Dunn. I saw Priest and Dunn in the NXT house show in Concord. It was excellent. These guys have good chemistry, man. But there again, Dunn can work with anybody. Priest is very good, but Dunn can work with anybody. Let's see. Belt doesn't even fit her waist. Yeah, she's like on the last button, right? Or on the first button. It's crazy. Omega versus Janela was cool. I'm not a big Joey Janela fan. That's just me. I like the match, but I'm not a huge Omega fan either. You think Bischoff being fired was the right thing to do? I thought it was kind of early. And not to WWE, man. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know. Supposedly he wasn't contributing a whole lot. I don't know how you put a guy on the payroll. And I had to believe they helped with the move. I don't think they told the guy, you just move here. I don't know. Maybe I'm dead wrong about everything I just said, but it seems to me that probably helped in that regard? I don't know. But why would you do all that and pay him all this money and tell the whole world and tell your investors and invest, and then like how X number of months later you're fired? I don't know, man. It seems kind of hokey and it seems kind of weird. But guess what? As we always say, W freaking W-E. You understand? That's all you need to know about that decision. Steven S. says, thoughts on WWE backstage, man. You're talking about, I did not watch the show. Did anyone catch the backstage thing? How was that? Barry says, Kushida and Walter was the best match I've seen in a long time. Excellent match. Did Walter give him too much? I think so. And I love Kushida. I think he gave him too much. That's just me. I think if Walter had went in with sort of a limp or with something that like an injury that was bothering him or something of that nature, it would have been a lot more believable. Some stuff you have to just sort of ignore because it's 2019 and these guys are superhuman and they bounce back up from 15 finishing moves in a row and 9 power bombs and 12 super kicks and going through a table and they jump back up and didn't sell anything. You kind of have to get used to that. You don't have to get used to it. You don't have to watch. But that's where we are in 2019. Guys don't sell. So if you accept all that and you're okay with all that, or you're trying to be okay with all that, you can accept the fact that Kushida they actually thought he was going to pin Walter, which is beyond silly to me, in my opinion. Angie says, hello Angie, how are you? I think Cody Rhodes tries too hard to be bigger than the other superstars, like cutting lots off for him in a special video package. Well, how much of that is him and how much of that is not him, I don't know. It's a good question. They don't have a creative team in AEW. They don't have a big round table of a bunch of people that used to write for Friends and Lost and Game of Thrones. The AEW is just running it week by week by week and letting the wrestlers, run their own storylines. So I don't know, but he's, to be fair, he's not the only one getting nice interest in good packages. He's not the only one. I see what you're saying, and by the way, don't they turn the lights out way too much in that company? It's like, start paying the bills, man. There's maybe a deeper joke to that somewhere. Do you notice almost epic screw up in the ACU match on AEW? Remind me, Kevin, of what you're talking about. I did watch the match. And Scorpio Sky's working in one tennis shoe. The crowd threw it back to him. Michelle says John Moore's coming back. The rumor is that he's coming back. No one knows why he's not on TV yet. I guess that'd be saving him. In my opinion, WWE has been accumulating talent over the past 2 years. They're just collecting talent so no one else can have them. Leo, thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate that. Did you hear about WWE trying to buy Pro Wrestling Noah? No, I've not heard that. Shane's always hitting me with stuff I haven't heard. Crazy. I hope it doesn't happen, man. MLW just started a working relationship with Pro Wrestling Noah. No, Eric, they didn't turn the lights off at the first show. They've turned the lights off more than one time. And not just for Cody. They've turned the lights off more than one time. I don't know, Charlie, about the CM Punk thing. I don't know where that stands right now. I can't really answer that for you. Not sure. Morrison versus Balor would be nice. Morrison versus anybody. Balor versus anybody. When you have two guys that can work the way they can, you'd like to see them work anybody on the roster. I'm all for it, man, It's all good with me. Robbie, what's up? We've been waiting on you, Robbie. Robbie's late. Royal Rumble return, maybe. Talking about Morrison, yeah, it's entirely possible, man. We'll see. What's up, Darren? All right, folks, so we've spent a good bit of time on the draft. Let's go to everyone's favorite subject. Are you ready? It's WWE Crown Jewel. Are you pumped? Are you excited? Are you enthralled with the concept of Vince McMahon taking all of his guys across to the Middle East to the show that no one cares about, except the people that live there? It's next week. I got to at least touch on it, don't I? I don't know. It's I know none of you are looking forward to it. None of you want to. Chris says, "No, just no." No, there you go. To boo and hiss. Danny says money is money. Yes, Danny, except when it's blood money, okay? Big freaking difference. Wake me up when Crown Jewel is over. Well, listen, how's about this? How about we just do a quick rundown of the card and then we pretend like it never happened, okay? Universal Champion Seth Rollins versus The Fiend. Falls Count Anywhere match. You've already seen that. Because that was the big deal last time was that Falls Count. Why don't you just say that there must be a winner? There must be a winner. No matter what happens, there must be a winner. How's about that? The largest tag team match in the history to determine the World Cup winner and crown the best tag team in the world. By next year, it'll be the best cruiserweight in the world. Then it'll be the best ring announcer. Because it's not going to be the best ladies wrestler. Did you hear what I said? It won't be the best female superstar. Don't anybody bring to me that nonsense about, well, listen, Tom, WWE's making headway. They're making progress in the Middle East. They're sliding the women in little by little. I don't want to hear that. 2 words, hot garbage. Okay? That's what that noise is. Hot freaking garbage. Don't even come to me with that. They got no business over there. I don't care about them over there. I wish the performers well and hope everyone comes back home safe and everyone works safe and comes home and everybody's fine. I wish no ill will upon anyone in that company or the McMahon family at all. Don't misunderstand my comments. But I don't care about anything going on in that country in terms of what they're doing in that show. I don't care. Because in my opinion, you're taking blood money. I don't care what anyone says. We can agree to disagree on some things, but I will not disagree on that. I will not, and I won't be wrong on this either. I don't care what they end up doing. I will not be wrong on this. And you guys know me, I never say I'm 100% right on anything. Because pro wrestling is very subjective. We all have our own feelings and views and opinions and points of view. I'm not wrong about this. Period. See, Eric says, I canceled the network and rely on Fire Stick. I jumped on the new bandwagon. We just saw AEW at Philly. Crowd was up. Eric, I'm going to the show in Charlotte. I can't wait. Bojangles Coliseum. I'm taking the boy November 6th. Gonna be a blast. It's 3 days before Full Gear. So you know there's going to be hopefully some cool stuff going down. I can't wait for that. Okay, so let's get through the rest of this very painful card. Mansoor versus Cesaro. Team Hogan versus Team Flair. 5-on-5 tag. Braun Strowman versus Tyson Fury. And the match of a lifetime that you've all been waiting for, that you can't wait for, that will redefine the business of professional wrestling as we know it today. That's right, folks. Biggest match ever. Forget Sting and Taker. Forget Flair versus Hogan. Forget everything you've ever seen, ever heard about the sport of professional wrestling and MMA. Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez. I'm just playing. I don't really care about that match either. There again, I wish all the best to everyone on the card. I hope everyone in the ring comes home safe. Hope everyone on the crew comes home safe. And you know what? I hope the matches are good. I know they'll go out there and fight their hearts out because that's what professionals do. Whether you're in front of a crowd of 5 or 5,000 or 50,000 doesn't make a difference. They're always going to go out and give their 100% maximum effort. And I respect that and I appreciate it. And I wish nothing but the best for that entire crew. So Godspeed to them, for sure. Having said that, again, as I said before, I don't care about anything happening in the show. I'll cover it. I'll watch it because it's my job. It's what I do. But you know what? I don't really care about much of any of it, if I'm being straight up with you about it. Big Show versus Mayweather 2.0. Possibly, yeah. Clifford says, hopefully AEW comes to Iowa. They're going to Texas, right? Hasn't AEW announced Texas? They're branching out, man. They're branching out for sure. Jen, what's up? Did you just show up or what? I didn't see you there. Yeah, so just hang on, man, because they'll be there, I'm sure. I'm trying to see how many people are watching. It's funny. Right when we go live, I want to go back and hear the comments that Rhea Ripley said to EO. Listen to me. The NXT show, just looking at Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley facing off in the ring, does this not look like two women that just are ready to kill each other? Do they not look great? Rhea Ripley, I'm going to tell you right now, if Rhea Ripley doesn't get a great run with a women's championship, I don't care which one it is, that company is legit full of, 2 words, hot garbage. Because she is so good. She's so good, and she's got a great look, and she's got a great attitude, and she's so into her personality and her character. She may not be the absolute best on the mic, but I don't think she needs to be. I think she's much better than she used to be. And I think that she's exactly what they need in the women's division. And I love Io. You guys know I love Io. Don't even get me started on that chick. I love that chick. See, Steven says draft's also partially run by the predictability of some of the picks due to relationships. Yeah, you're right about that. Right about that. Toby says, I love Rhea. I hope she kills Becky very soon. Jen, thank you. Thank you for that. Sweet. Yeah, I love EO. Always have, always will. You guys know I'm firmly on EO's bandwagon. I am her biggest fan. Well, maybe not, but I dig her. You guys know that. So Shane says Cesaro would be a perfect fit to join Imperium and NXT. Make it a fivesome. Fivesome? A quintet. I don't hate that. I don't think I hate that too much. Do you want to take Cesaro and have him blend in again? Or should he continue? Because he's earned the right to be on his own, right? And everyone seems to get upset when Cesaro's not on his own and not getting a shot at solo work. So do you have him blend in? Is that the right move? I love it, but is that the right thing to do? To lead them. Yeah, maybe it would come down a breakdown between him and Walter. Is Toni Storm still in UK or no? I thought Toni Storm had been moved. Am I wrong? I thought she was going to NXT, the actual NXT brand. What's up, Bit? How's it going? Darren says, I'd like to see Liv Morgan and get the push and become the next women's champion. Darren, you and Liv, both. Sorry, I'm just not sold. I've never been sold on Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is already behind the 8 ball with me personally because she is a typical blonde, beautiful superstar with a great body. And I know what you're getting ready to say. Tom, you're not being fair. You're not being fair to her. You don't know how much she wants this, how serious she is about it. And you're right on all of those fronts. But at the same time, I've seen this. They've already got it. They've already had it. They'll always have it. To me, blonde, long hair, beautiful, gorgeous face, gorgeous smile is so prototypical, so stereotypical of everything that's ever happened in that company. And to me, I'm not feeling it. And I don't know how I'm supposed to get excited about any of it. I don't know how anyone expects me to get excited about any of it. And all the talk about, she's beautiful and she's this and she's that, and she absolutely is. But at the same time, I'm not feeling it. You know what? And you know what? Despite what anyone says about Becky, that's one of the reasons why Becky gets over. It's because of people like me who are like, I've seen this. I've seen this before. This is so boring. What could she possibly do I haven't seen already? That's why Becky gets over. And no small part because of that right there. That's what I think. Did Liv dye her hair black? Did she? Wow, I missed that one, didn't I? Interesting. She did change her look. Man, am I behind or what? That's crazy. Who's your prediction to be the new... Well, I don't know. No more contender to Bayley. I don't know, man, but I think she'll keep that championship for a while. Robert says Sasha should be champion by now. It is funny how she and Bayley seem to be on a roll, and then Sasha didn't beat Becky. It's kind of odd. I'm not saying I disagree with it, but it's kind of odd. I didn't realize she dyed her hair. I'm about to look that up. You got me intrigued now. Isn't that funny? I didn't know that. I told you I've had a heck of a week, man. So. I'm looking. Where is she? I see a whole bunch of Liv Morgan with no black hair. It's all good. Yeah. Yeah, I fell asleep on that one, man. That's something. Steven says Nikki Cross, new number 1 contender after tonight. Yeah, okay. I'll buy that for sure. Leo says she looks like Quinn from Suicide Squad. They're doing part 2 of that, right? James Gunn. Be interesting to see. All right, so there's the Crown Jewel card. I told you we weren't going to dwell on it too awful much because I really didn't want to. Oh, so Robbie's talking about Darby versus Chris from Dynamite. It was a good match. But there again, we talked about AEW having... And by the way, we're done with Crown Jewel. We're going to move into AEW Full Gear. Let's go ahead and talk about AEW. Thank you, Robbie, for the segue. Excuse me. I said earlier in the show that AEW makes their mistakes, and they do. Darby Allin is talented. He's fearless. He's driven. He's got a really interesting character. if you met Darby Allin in a bar, and I'm not talking to the ladies, I'm talking to the men right now. If you were in a bar and Darby Allin crossed your path, and he smarted off to you or to your girl, would there be any part of you that would not look at Darby and say, I'm going to take this kid out? One punch. And listen, I know what I said earlier about 2019 is a different environment and a different atmosphere for the world of professional wrestling. You have to, suspend your disbelief more than ever before, because pro wrestlers don't look like pro wrestlers anymore. They don't sound like pro wrestlers. They don't act like pro wrestlers. Pro wrestlers used to be big and stocky and roughhouse and hairy and, 6'5" and 260 pounds. And that's just not what's happening anymore. Pro wrestlers are all shapes, sizes, and colors. Nothing wrong with that. But again, I ask you, to the men in the audience, if you cross Darby Allin, he's smart off to you or your girl, especially your girl, is there any part of you that thinks you couldn't take him out? I'm just asking. Does he look like he could beat up anyone? And if the answer is no, then why is he on national television facing the world champion and giving the world champion a run for his money? Chris Jericho had a problem with Darby Allin. He had a problem putting this kid away. And I know what you're going to say. Well, Tom, did you want Chris to just squash him? What's wrong with you, Tom? Don't you want these guys to get ahead? I'm not saying they can't get ahead. I'm not saying they should be squashed. Guys, come on. Use your common sense here. Hear the plane? Hear that? They're attacking, baby. I told you it was coming. I told everybody. I'm just kidding. It's the CIA that keep an eye on the house. I'm a pretty dangerous guy. Toby says, look at Adam Cole. That dude is small. Adam Cole is not challenging Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship and making a match of it. Now, he might. He might. And if and when he does, I'll say the same thing. And it won't be any disrespect meant to anybody in the equation, because I love Adam. But there again, folks, I'll tell you the same thing. In 2019, I have to ask, how much does this matter to you, and are we willing to accept it? Because here's my deal. And by the way, just as a comment to your comment, if crossing Adam Cole is one thing, crossing Darby Allin is something else. That's not the same thing, in my humble opinion. I mean, Adam looks like a killer. Darby looks like he's dead. I mean, I don't know. It looks like he hasn't eaten in a month. I mean, to me, there's a difference. That's just me. That's my opinion, man. Do you think AEW do things for shot value? I think possibly, Jenna. Good question. Yeah. But if they do, they're not the only company doing it. I don't know. You know what I think AEW's done? I don't think they have. I know they have. AEW said, we want to do a new company, and we were going to call it AEW, and we're going to put a show on TV, on national TV. And so we need a cast for the show. So let's sign all these indie talents. They either have never been on national television before in their entire careers, or they've never worked for a big company their entire careers, or both. And they're stars. Here they are. It's Darby. He's a star. It's the best friends. They're stars. It's Orange Cassidy's a star. See, he's a star. They're not stars. They're stars to the hardcore, diehard pro wrestling group of fans. They're not stars to the mainstream audience. They can be, but it's going to take time to get there. But AEW said, here they are. They're stars. They're not. Okay? No disrespect. I'm just saying that's how I view it. They're not stars. Now, they'll grow on people, but here's my question. If you didn't watch pro wrestling and you're flipping the channel and you saw a kid, Darby Allin size, giving grief to Chris Jericho and nearly winning the world title from this guy, what part of you would say, that looks awesome? This episode is not meant to bag on Darby Allin. It's not why I'm doing this episode today. I'm just posing a question. I don't know. Robert says, wish Tessa was in AEW. Tessa Blanchard is, Tessa Blanchard is insanely freaking talented. I don't care to see Tessa Blanchard work men every single week of my stupid life. I don't care about it. I don't care about intergender wrestling. It's got nothing to do with being chauvinistic or short-sighted or old-fashioned or old school. It's none of that stuff. I don't personally care to see it. Okay, I've explained to my son, since he was but a wee lad, or a weer lad, is that a word? That pro wrestling is choreographed. I told him a long time ago These guys are taking care of each other in the ring. Now, I know what you're thinking. This ruins it for them. It doesn't. We still go to shows. We just went to Evolve last week. Saw James Drake and Anthony Henry have an insane main event that my son was insanely into, and he loved that freaking match. It's never hurt his perception. It's never damaged how he sees the business. He still has a good time. But I didn't need my kid thinking it was okay to settle your problems with fists. And I also don't need my kid thinking it's okay to hit a woman, because it's not, okay? Now, again, he's been told how the business works. He knows they're pulling their punches. But the man is still making physical contact with the woman, and I have a problem with that. And that's just me. And you can call me old-fashioned or chauvinistic or whatever. Jenna, have a good day, my dear. You can call me whatever you want to call me. But that's just how I feel. So I love Tessa. I wish she were in a better company. With a better platform. But here's the problem. You guys ready? Here's the problem with Tessa. Not if. When she gets to WWE, WWE will take Tessa and WWE the living crap out of her. Hard. Till she bleeds. Because that's what they do. They take a star who may already be a star, and they're going to say, welcome to WWE. Here's what we're going to do to you right here. And that's what they do. Because that's who they are. They have to put their own stamp on you. All up on you. Okay? And make you who they think you're going to be. Who they want you to be. And guess what? For Tessa Blanchard, you know what that means for her? She maybe nothing. Maybe they'll accentuate her positives. Maybe they will just embellish what's already great about her, and she'll have no problem. Or, like I said, they'll WWE the living daylights out of her, and she'll be a shell of what she is today. How do you know with this company? How do you trust this company? If WWE comes out and tells you the sky's blue, you better run outside and check. I'm just saying. That's how I feel. What's up, Gary? And Jim Wrestling is no place for the pro wrestling world. Gary, I agree with you, man. What's up, bro? Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And you know what? To his point, though, notice how he didn't say that Gary didn't say, I hate it. It's garbage. It's ridiculous. Screw them. He didn't say that. Just like I'm not. I'm not saying to heck with Tessa Blanchard for this. No, not at all. If this is what she thinks is good for her career, go with God. It's perfectly fine with me. I'm not the one working for Impact Wrestling and getting paid to do so. Okay? I'm not. I'm sitting in my office in North Carolina. If this is what's good for her and her career, go with God. It's perfectly fine with me. I don't have to be a fan of it, and I'm not a fan of it. That's just my own personal take. It's Gary's take. It's a lot of people's take. If you love it, again, go with God. In my opinion, I don't see a place for it, and I don't think it should have a place, but that's just me. And, you know, if you preach too hard against it, you know what you sound like? I hate to say it, you sound like Jim Cornette, and I love Jim, but Jim goes too far. I think if you've never listened to his show, do yourself a favor and listen to his show. He goes way too far. And I agree with Jim on probably 85% of the things he says. I do. But it's the other 15% that makes me cringe. I mean, Jim wishes death on people. I'm not kidding. Jim flat out wishes death on people. And you know what? That's him. I don't have to answer for that. It's perfectly fine. He's speaking from the heart. He doesn't have a filter. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any of these guys in the business at all on a personal level. And I'm sure Jim knows everybody, it seems like. But, you know, so I'm not going to speak on where his mind is. That's Jim. But, you know, if you preach too hard against intergender wrestling, especially women, you're going to sound like Jim. And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that at all. Do you know what I mean? What else have you guys have you got for me? So we're talking about AEW Full Gear. There's only 2 matches booked. Moxley versus Omega and Jericho defending against Cody. I wrote a piece this morning that'll post this weekend about whether or not Cody will be betrayed in his title match versus Jericho. I think we all believe MJF will be the guy to betray him. Don't know if that'll happen. I think it could be Hangman Page if it's going to happen at all. That'd be interesting to see. Hangman as a heel. That'd be something else. Toby said, I remember crying when Baby Doll was attacked, and man, wasn't that something. When Tully grabbed her and smacked her and pushed her down and stuff. And when Dusty runs out to protect her and says, she belonged to me now. And I'm like, at the time, I'm like, yeah! Wait, Baby Doll's not very attractive. But it's Dusty. He's awesome, yeah! And I was all for it. But some of those clips don't age well in 2019. Dusty's saying, she's with me now. She belonged to me now. Yikes. You know what I mean? It's all good. Times change. These things happen. But evolution, baby. Or de-evolution, depending on your point of view. So, yeah. That was back in the day, man. Message and wrestling rumors, but no. James, you left me a message. Dude, my apologies, man. Can I be honest with you? I don't check the wrestling rumors instant messenger all the time. I probably should check it more. My apologies, man. I'll check it out. Steven says Marty Scurll soon to rejoin AEW, rejoin the Elite. Steven, I don't want to see it because I love Marty. I want Marty to have as big of a platform as possible, but I love Marty in Ring of Honor. Here's the thing, it feels like to this point, Ring of Honor, and I don't want this to be a social commentary Ring of Honor because I love that company. I do. I enjoy me some Ring of Honor. I love going to see it live. I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the production they have at the NWA and Crockett Cup. I enjoyed it. I love watching Ring of Honor. I don't like the Ring of Honor crowd. They're absolute hot garbage. So I couldn't help myself. I couldn't resist. They're quiet. They're stone dead. No reaction. They got their arms folded like they're criticizing everything. I'm like, this crowd is full of nothing but diehard fans. There's no casual fans in this entire crowd. There's no families that I saw. There was some there when I was there, but like if you look in the rows surrounding the entrance ramp, it's all dudes. It's all dudes and a few girlfriends. And I'm like, that's it? That's all they're getting now? Like, Marty feels like a big fish in a really little pond now. And you couldn't say that at one time, but you can now. Villain Enterprises is great. Can you imagine if Villain Enterprises left ROH and went off on their own? All of them? That would gut Ring of Honor. That'd gut their top stars as if they've not already been gutted, right? But that'd be something else to see. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Okay, I'm just watching. I'm watching Undisputed Era right now. Interrupt the Dijakovic and Keith Lee match. I thought this match was going to be the final one of their run. And Regal up on the with that little tower thing he's got, that little podium. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. And Roddy's all mad. Roddy's mad. Regal's glaring at him. Boy, if William Regal looked at me like that, I believe I'd go hide somewhere. That's good stuff. I'll have to rewind and listen to what he said. Toby says, I want to see RH get back on track. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Rich says, kind of like the old AWA shows. Oh, Rich. Wish you hadn't said that. Now you're going to make me start comparing. But Rich, to be fair, the old AWA shows had some really bad wrestling. Hard to watch. I don't think that's what's happening with ROH. I don't think they're losing the game in the ring. I don't think they're losing the fight in the ring. They're losing the fight with the audience. That's how they're losing. Somehow, along the way, they've lost that crowd. Or the diehards have left. A lot of the diehards have left, and that's why it appears to be not that many. I don't know. There's an answer there somewhere. Yes, Shane, Keith Lee is very good for a big guy. He's very good, period. Do you think Finn going to get Tama Tonga to NXT? I don't think Tama Tonga has to go to NXT to do anything in this business. I don't think he'd want to go to NXT. I think Tama, and I'm not speaking for the guy because I don't know this for sure, but I would not be surprised if Tama Tonga were among the highest paid, especially Bullet Club and stuff. As far as New Japan will pay in terms of high pay, because supposedly the payouts are not great. I don't know how they compare with anybody else, but I've always heard they're not great. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I love Bullet Club. I love Guerrillas of Destiny, put it that way. So a potential creation of NXT Japan. Steven, I think it is entirely probable that WWE will move into Japan because you know what they're going to think? We're WWE and by God, we can do anything we want. Okay. And I think they'll even shake their head when they say it. Catch that? That's what they're going to do because they think they can just do anything they want because they think they own the business. And I would not be surprised at all if that's what happens. I kind of predicted that a year ago or so, and I would not be surprised to see NXT Japan. They could do like the red sun behind the NXT logo. Yeah, absolutely. Do I think it's a great idea? I don't know if I do or not. I think New Japan and All Japan has that country sewn up. But if anybody could come in and make an absolute impact, no pun intended, it would be WWE and NXT. But whether or not it's going to happen, who knows, man. I really don't have any idea. We'll see. No, Tama is not part of the NOI family. No. He and his brothers and no. And Haku, no. I don't think, not to my knowledge. NXT is also looking into Canada, Italy, and who else do you have? Is that Australia? Sorry, I couldn't see the flag, Danny. NXT Canada, I could see that. I could totally see that. Yeah. Supposedly that's been the plan from day one, is to take this brand, take it worldwide, and put it in as many countries as possible, and build the brands up to where they're respectable and they're legitimate brands that you can grow talent for the future big shows. I think it's entirely possible. Australia, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think NXT Australia would be interesting. I'd be all about that because I like seeing talent I've never seen before. You know what I mean? I'm interested in that. I think I'd be more interested in NXT Australia than I would any other thing they could possibly do at the moment. Wes says, I'm probably the oldest guy in here at 70, but just curious, does anyone remember teams like Rip Hawk, Sweet Hands, the Infernos, Aldo Bogini, Marco Lubitsch, Brute Bernard, Skull Murphy? I can't say, hello, Wes. Welcome to the show. Wes is the senior here, but it's all good. All due respect to Wes, for sure. And by the way, my son's name is Wesley, and so is my dad's. It's a great name. Montrese is here. My God, Montrese, you're late. You're so late. We're going to stay a little bit longer from Montrese because we love her. So, Wes, thanks, man. I can't say that I remember, but I know who you're talking about. Bronco Lubitsch ended up being a referee in World Class Championship Wrestling. Right? So, not a great referee, but suppose a really, really smart guy behind the scenes, for sure. And Austin rode with him a lot when he was getting started and stuff. And Jim Cornette did too, I believe. I love the old days. I grew up in the 80s watching the Jim Crockett Promotions, the old territory days, Midland Championship Wrestling, Championship Wrestling from Florida, and Georgia Championship Wrestling. So that's where my roots are. And I love the old stuff, man. Without the old stuff, you wouldn't have the stuff today. For better or worse, you know. But Wes, are you still watching? Montrese, great. She's here. Thank you so much for hanging out. Yeah, Montrese is, I got a lot of top fans. Every comment just now is the top fans. Alma says NXT Mexico. That'd be something else. AAA and CMLL. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Wow, that'd be something. Rob says, haven't had a chance to watch NWA Power yet. Have you, and what do you think of it? Is Billy doing... Oh, my God, yes. Billy's doing great work with NWA. Go watch it. Thoughts on Moxley being stripped U.S. title due to Typhoon. So, Steven, supposedly, New Japan's thing is if you can't make it to the event, and everyone used the word stripped, but I don't... In New Japan's credit, their thing is if you're booked and it's a title match, you got to be there. You know what I mean? And don't quote me on this because I don't know. Maybe they all of a sudden hate John's guts. Who knows? I don't know. If Gato suddenly hates John's guts, I don't know. But it didn't feel like a vindictive move to me. It just felt like, is John okay? Oh, we can't make it. We're going to have to move on. We're just going to have to do the match anyway. That's kind of how it felt. Do you know what I mean? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm dead wrong and now they all hate him. I don't know. But to me, I was going to say performer, the wrestler's safety is 100% paramount in this whole thing. So I'm glad he's safe. Thanks, Barry. Thanks for hanging out. Montre said, did you hear anything about the Usos and Naomi not coming back? No, it's fine. They're off the road right now because of the DUI stuff, and they should be. In my opinion, Montrese, one more strike, you're done. I don't know how you can come back from that. If one more stop, you're done. You should be out. And here's the thing. I don't wish anyone to lose their job in any walk of life. Well, except one guy, the president. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. It's how I feel. Sorry, come at me. My bad. But I don't wish anyone to lose their job. It's a big deal to lose your job. You got nothing to fall back on. It's sudden. It's always sudden. Sometimes it's with malice and all that stuff. I don't wish them to lose their jobs. I don't. At the same time, enough's enough. Stop acting out. How old are they now? The three of them? How old are they? Knock it off. For real, knock it off. I mean, it's 2019. Be smarter than that. Alcohol can kill. We've seen that. I'm a living proof that alcohol can kill, my friends. So it's ridiculous. Irresponsible people with alcohol can kill. Does that sound better? Yeah. So there you go. Again, to me, in my opinion, from where I'm sitting right now in my office in North Carolina, as I keep saying, in my opinion, one more strike, you're done. That's just how I feel. Uber, yeah, for sure. Or Lyft, yeah, no doubt. Hello, whoever's in Indiana. I missed your name. My apologies. Christopher, I would love to talk about Impact. So they got to Access TV, and I think so far all they've been doing is running rundowns, like updates and stuff, right? Like rundown shows. They've not done anything current. And I keep tuning in, wanting to see a current show. Am I missing something? You might know more about it than I do. Let me know. Trevor Murdoch in NWA reminds me of Dick Murdoch. Yeah, that's his, Cornette called him his namesake. I love Trevor, I always have. What a good gimmick, man, especially in this day and age, because no one's really running it. You know what I mean? Hangman Page, maybe you could say. There's a guy in MLW that's running Hangman Page's gimmick. He has, like, the rope and the cowbell and the vest and the black boots and everything. And I'm like, what are you doing? Do you not? It's Hangman Page over here. Come here, Page. Look at this guy. I mean, it seems kind of weird, doesn't it? I don't know. Do you think Jeff Hardy's done with WWE? James? No way. No how. No, sir. I think that Jeff Hardy will have a job as long as he wants a job. Because Vince McMahon has always been in love with that cat. They've always seen something special in him. They've always believed in him, despite the number of times he screws up. And man, Jeff has screwed up a bunch. And man, Jeff has made a fool of himself so many times over the years, my friends. WWE sees something in that guy, and I think that as long as he wants a job and he's clean enough to get a job and keep a job, that he's going to be there. That's what I think. That's what I feel. Okay, Robert. So yeah, they're recycling. So there you go. October 29th is Impact first live show. Well, then I'll be watching it. I want to see it for sure. Be interesting to see what their ratings will be when that happens. You think they'll possibly match AEW or be more like NXT? I'm just asking. See what you think. What do you guys think of Taynara Conti? Taynara Conti? I'm back and forth on her, man, because, like, you gotta love her confidence. You know, she's got some swagger, right? I'm off topic. She's got some swagger and stuff, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I gotta tell you, some of the women, not all, but some of the women in WWE, especially NXT, they're cookie cutter. They don't really, again, she's blonde. She's a cute little blonde. God, I know that sounds wrong, but she's a cute little blonde. I don't know why I'm supposed to care. I don't know. I'm not saying that you have to be different like Ember Moon in terms of style and contacts and hair. I'm not saying you have to be, but I'm saying it doesn't hurt. I don't know. To me, she just blends in. God, oy vey, I hate to be that guy. I'm sorry to be that guy. Will, absolutely. I love the Green Mist as well. Well, guys, we're coming up on an hour. I'll see. Gary said, what's up? Ask your fans a review on theater style. Okay, so have you guys ever seen a pro wrestling show in a theater? Like an actual theater? Like the ring is up on the stage, and so like there's nothing behind the ring except like the hard cam and stuff. Or not the hard cam. Yeah, the hard cam. And like the camera guys, but then there's nothing on that side except like the backdrop. And then it's like watching a movie, I guess you could say. And then how would you feel about that? How does that sound to you? You guys got any thoughts on that? I'm interested. I can't say that I've ever seen that happen before. I've heard of it happening. But I can't say that I've seen it happen. It would definitely be different for sure. You know what I think? I think it would dictate that every guy in the ring would not be able to get thrown out on the opposite side of the ring where the fans are not sitting. And I think that in a random style professional wrestling, you have to ask yourself, is that believable or is it set up? And these are just questions. That's all it is just questions. I'm not saying it can't work. I think it's very interesting, and I think it's worth a look and worth a shot because, like I said, it's something different. If you're turning around, this is why Lucha Underground, for all of its faults, and it had a lot of faults here too, right, folks? But if you're flipping around the dial and you caught Lucha Underground, you probably stopped clicking, if only for a second, and said, "What is this?" Because it was different. It was grainy. It was dirty. It was dark. It had a different tone, different texture, it had a grit. That's the word. Lucha Underground had a grit to it. Do you know what I mean? It didn't feel like Raw and SmackDown. It was sticky. It was dirty. You know what I'm saying? Nothing bad I'm saying. But it was like I said, it just had much different tone. I think you had to stand out. I think you had to try something different. I think I'd be all for that. There's a reason we're asking that question, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. So anyway. Toby says maybe would stop the overused suicide dive. Thank you, Toby. I love that. Maybe it would prevent guys from diving so much. Put it to you that way, you and Randy Orton would definitely agree on that topic. No, 100%. There's too many dives as it is. You know what I hate? Ask me. I'll tell you. Here's one of the things I hate about what wrestling has become over the past 10, 15 years, whatever it's been, is when like two guys are in the ring and they're standing beside of each other, and one guy decides to just take off and run and come back and hit him. And I'm like, you were standing right there. What? Why would you run away? It's like Monty Python, run away, run away. And it's like, as the guy waiting on him, wouldn't you just go, I'm going to run this way? Or wouldn't you just get your fist up? It doesn't make any sense, right? So yeah, and like the guys outside the ring, and I saw this one night with Sami Zayn. I ranted on this for a year. Sami Zayn was working with somebody. The first night he came back from injury. There was somebody outside the ring. It might have been Owens or whoever. Sammy's standing right here. Like, here's the ropes. Okay? And the guy's on the floor out here. Sammy's right here. He's right here. He's right here. He doesn't dive over the rope. He doesn't slide under the rope. He does this head-to-head thing to get the crowd's approval. And he runs across the ring to run back so he can dive over the rope. I'm like, why don't you just slide out and get him? It's your first night back from injury. Here's an idea. Don't get injured again. This is not hard. People make this stuff so hard. Wrestling should be easy. Easy in terms of the whole dynamic, the thought process. It shouldn't be this complicated and this difficult. Man, is it complicated and this difficult. I'm going to make it harder on myself to take the guy down by running over here. Run away. Apart from the dive and the run. Hot garbage. So, anyway, Jamel says take their title off Shinsuke. Maybe. Could be. Why would you hang on the ropes to get stomped like Del Rio did? Just fall. Yeah. Yeah, true. Sami Zayn bring back the El Generico gimmick to reinvigorate his career. Steven, I don't know. Isn't he already doing that? I mean, come on. I don't know. But dude, listen, it doesn't matter. He can't bring anything back. That's their call. And he's not in charge. He's not in AEW where he can say, I got a great idea. Can I try this? It's not. WWE runs the show. They could tell him to do anything. They could bring Sammy out next week and say, Sammy, you're a chick now. Wear this dress, Sammy. And you and Bobby Lashley are going to have a fling. And it's going to be a fling between you and him and Lana. And wear this dress and lipstick. You think I'm crazy? They've done it before. Man, I hate to end the show on negativity. But he's not doing anything. He's not doing anything to get over because he's doing what he's told to do to get over. Now, if he can maximize his minutes while he's on camera, good for him. And he should be. I think he's trying his best. But he has a ceiling like they all have in that company. Very few guys are popping up through that ceiling. And it's the truth. That's how it is. Vito, thank you, Danny. It's exactly what I was thinking about. Sammy needs something. Dude has talent, but Lord, they make him look stupid. Yes, they do. Humberto Carrillo, I love that kid. I love that kid, Danny. You know what that kid looks like? He looks like an AEW guy. You know what I'm saying? He's got that look. Like young, full of life, full of energy, full of talent, full of, he's got the look, he's got the swagger, and he just needs the right amount of spotlight. I'm all about it. I love that kid. I think he's going to go places. Provided WWE lets him go there. Again, it's the McMahons, and they do funky, weird stuff on a day-to-day basis. You can't call it. They change horses in midstream. They change directions every time you turn around. They've changed something. You can't follow it because it's impossible to follow. You can't appreciate it because it's impossible to love. And you can't always hate it because then they'll do something fun that makes you go, wow, that was awesome. They're unpredictable to the point of being nauseating. That's where they are. And guess whose fault it is? Their own. Don't complain that you have a limp when you're the one that shot your own self in the foot. That's words to live by, okay? What's next for Charlotte Flair? She's going to go woo a lot and ruin the whole thing because she can't do it. What do you think about Leo Rush with the Cruiserweight title? I like Leo. I don't love Leo. I wish him well, but we'll see how it goes. Thank you, Toby. All right, listen, man, we're coming up on the hour. It's getting hot up here because I rant so much. And plus, I'm going to rewind and watch NXT with the sound on. Can't do that with you people because they'll keep me off the Facebook. Copyrights and some such nonsense, okay? But that's kind of how it goes. Listen, thanks to everybody for watching. Before I leave you, listen, don't go. Just because I said I'm going, don't click. All right? If any of you out there are watching from the first time from Wrestling Rumors, from the fan page, thank you. Hello, I'm Tom. Thanks for hanging out. You're awesome. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Tom Clark Writes, WRITES. I'm on Instagram as well, TomClark1278. Follow me. Follow me here. Be my friend on the Facebook, and I will follow you, and I'll be your friend right back at you. If you can't find me, all you got to do is send me a friend request or send me a message on Wrestling Rumors Instant Messenger and say, hey, Tom, what's up? Send me a request because I love you. And guess what? I'll send you one. It will be bros, compadres, compatriots, teammates, brothers in arms for life. That's how I roll. Thank you so much for watching. And listen, before I split, one more thing. Big news is coming soon. Big news from this guy. Big news from this guy on stuff that's coming soon. And that's all I can say. It's a teaser. It's a teaser. Okay? That's all I got for you. I'm getting out of here, baby. Robert, Rebecca, Alma, Jonathan, Montrese, Miss Lopez, Jim. I'm trying to remember everyone's Sandy. I'm trying to remember everyone's name. Claire. Are you still listening, Claire? Did you make a home save, Claire? I'm Claire's ride home. Isn't that awesome? You know what? I told a friend of mine that, and I said, he's like, really? You? And I'm like, what the freak do you mean, me? I'm awesome. Anyway. Victor. Christopher. Angie. Steven. Christopher. All right, the other Christopher. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We're going to be back next Friday. Come hell or high water. Anything can happen, I better not say that. Life happens. But anyway, as far as I know, we'll be here next Friday. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. We are getting out of here. We're going to say goodbye and be on our way. Everybody have a great day. Even better, have a great weekend. Watch some pro wrestling and enjoy it. That's all I got for you. I'm getting out of here. We will see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.